Hello, everybody. We are back for game number 2 of the ALS Season 1 Finals. Once again, yours truly, Kinderspiel, joined with the man, the myth, Monochrome 94.
Or Toxichrome, as some people like to call me. I don't know why. I'm a fantastic bastion of character here.
Of course. Always glad to have you here. Monochrome.
Yeah. So game 1 picked up by Iron Dragon. We are going into game 2 now. Things are I guess we're hoping for a comeback from Endgame. The win was decidedly into the side of Iron Dragon in the first game. So,
although I feel like a lot of those issues could be mitigated or solved in this game number 2, as Feral Hogs and S2 Slamiel will be rejoining their team for game number 2. So could see a better showing from Endgame here.
Well, we will have to see as we go into the picks and bans.
So again, in game number 1, as the Nautilus ban comes through here, don't want to see that again. But game number 1, Smash on the Vi was just didn't really have much influence at all in any of the lanes. Which kind of, on top of the bot lane for Iron Dragon just stomping their way in a 2v2. Didn't give much chance for endgame in game number 1. So they're really going to have to tighten up the jungle macro here. Slamiel being back on their team.
Yeah, Slamiel are immediately back and immediately getting one of his champions banned. The Sejuani picked off by Iron Dragon. Do not want to see that.
Definitely Slamiel's most played champions.
There's the Pyke ban and the Leona ban. Looks to be like Endgame does not want Dreamlover on a hard engage champion here. And Iron Dragon doesn't want Joe on that absolutely pocket pick Pyke.
Definitely some interesting bans in my opinion for Endgame. Still, let's see what their last ban is, but so far, and the Zax. So definitely, yeah, like you're saying, keeping away from some of the hard engaged champions I like to play. But once again, leaving open the Echo for Bisu. Also leaving open the Yorick, which was not picked last game, but I would have thought we'd seen an Echo ban here, because Bisu's looked very strong on that champion consistently throughout the season.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Iron Dragon change up their strategy this game and go with their more consistently chosen split push strategy. Ornn's picked up for Little Gawa. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Yorick early pick here. For Kindred is best.
Yeah, Ornn was definitely... Oh! My goodness!
Just going to pick the final strat. Okay.
Iron Dragon says they don't care that the strategy was nerfed. You're not banning it. We're going to whip it out here in game number 2. My goodness. And also... Go ahead.
That was unexpected, but I'll bite. Let's see how this goes.
Definitely unexpected. Definitely interesting. But... Set... Looks like we'll be locked in here as well. Probably set jungle for Slamiel. Who will Bo be playing? Will he pick the Kassadin again? It seems like Endgame definitely picks a lot of these, has been picking these late game scaling comps. Already kind of doing the same thing again, locking in that Ornn first pick. Kassadin pick would just continue to add to that scaling. But we'll be picking for somebody else. Picks up that Kate for Feral. Definitely one of his best champions. Lulu.
Dreamlover, that could be neat.
Definitely look at that Jugger Yi comp coming in here. Fat. So interesting to see if Endgame continues to opt to pick for some scaling champions such as the Kassadin and try to match the late game scaling. But really what they need to do is pick some sort of counters for Yi. They need some hard CC. They need... you can't really pick Jax anymore because your jungle and top's been picked. But some sort of answer for Master Yi, some hard CC. The Leona's been banned out.
Follow me on this. Fiddlesticks.
Fiddlesticks. Definitely be an interesting cheese pick here, but could definitely be an effective counter to Master Yi, for sure.
he pops his ult, and you can literally just fear him away. It's beautiful. Because the fear range is actually further than his Alpha Strike.
But what you see here Iron Dragon doing is they're kind of like forcing, with this comp, while it has been nerfed and it is not as strong as it was, they're almost kind of forcing endgame to kind of like have an answer for it. Because I believe Iron Dragons, they've played it enough times and they're confident enough on the strategy that I think they're going to be able to play it quite effectively in its nerfed state. And endgame's going to need an answer for it, so it's going to be interesting what they kind of whip out here. Put a little wrench, a wrench in endgame's plan, if they had one, whatever their strategy was.
On a side note, maybe Fiddlesticks, or not Fiddlesticks, but maybe like Thresh, or
something with hard CC, which Fiddlesticks would be a good pick. I do actually like the Misfortune ban coming in. One of the times that Iron Dragon ran this Funnel Yeet comp, they did pick Misfortune as the AD with that Wombo ultimate as just an additional thing that the opposing team needs to worry about, on top of it being one of Griffin Viper's best champions. Solid ban.
Meanwhile, Griffin Viper just saying, all right, I'll play the Kai'Sa.
So what will endgame decide to do here? What support will they choose? Will it be that cheese Fiddlestick support? Kennen support. Interesting. I actually am a fan of that.
That could be Kennen mid.
Could be Kennen mid. Could see Bo on the Kennen. Either way, I like that pick for this comp because you do bring that it's not exactly hard CC, but definitely should be able to get 3 stacks onto Master Yi, even in between Alpha Strikes. So it should be able to come through.
Yuumi here, I was just thinking would be a great counter pick.
Interesting. And this may be the first Yuumi we've seen this season in the ALS as well. Definitely, I don't think we've seen her, but I agree. Definitely a fan of the counter draft here for endgame.
Yeah, this Shen though, once again, doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on the Jugger Yi comp.
It's definitely an interesting Jugger Yi comp because we have seen things like the Jugger Maw comp in prior seasons and stuff like that, where you just keep keep him alive. But if Griffin Viper doesn't get any kind of lead in this game, it is literally going to be only Kindred's best on this Master Yi as a damage threat. And with the comp drafted here from endgame, Ornn brings a lot of good CC as well to fights. We weren't even talking about that they already had some. Obviously, a lot of that is dodgeable with an Alpha Strike. But you combine that with the Kennen, the all-in Kennen CC potential, as well as the Yuumi ult, and Caitlyn traps, and Sett, lots of CC on the side of endgame here to potentially thwart the Master Yi. And if he gets dropped down early, unless Griffin Viper gets huge on this Kai'Sa, not going to be a lot of damage left.
Yeah, definitely going to be a matter of performance here.
And in past games, Iron Dragon running this Master Yi comp, they have looked a little bit vulnerable in certain team fights with Kindred's best on the Yi. Definitely able to get picked off in a lot of different situations. It ended up working out for them in a lot of their previous games, but have not looked absolutely clean with this strategy. So unless they've been working on it more and perfecting it, I definitely think endgame has a solid chance to win this game, especially since it's been nerfed too. So
maybe it's hard to call this one.
Real prediction time. I think endgame's going to take down this win.
You know,
I'm convinced.
In my earlier predictions, I said it would be Game 1, Iron Dragon, Game 2, Iron Dragon, Game 3, Endgame. I may have to change that to Game 2, Endgame, because I feel like if there's going to be a game they win, it's going to be this one. If.
I agree.
But that's, once again, a big if.
So we do see... So, Who is the jungler? Is this a jungle Shen? It must be. That's an interesting. Well, oh, it's jungle. I'm sorry. I'm talking absolute blasphemy right now. Obviously, it's Master Yi jungle. It's Shen top. Don't even listen to me. I had too much coffee today. My brain is all over the board.
Yeah, this team comp is kind of concerning in multiple levels.
I really like this mid Kennen pick though, because he's not gonna have any trouble like laning. He's gonna be able to push waves quickly once he gets a couple levels under his belt, as well as probably have no problem just scaling up a little bit, as well as that CC we're talking about bringing to the table with the ultimate, the AoE CC. That even if Master Yi is to delay a little bit with an Alpha Strike, should probably come through in the next moment or so.
Yeah, I mean, between that and the Yuumi, there's like no QSSing out of this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of peel as well from the Shen, from the Taric stuns, from the Lulu ultimate, the knockup from that. Lots of reverse CC and peel as well. But as you were saying, and I was saying, lots of CC on the side of endgame as well.
This is going to be a showy game, one way or the other.
For sure.
As spectator delay winds down and we go to loading screen. I'm actually curious. I'm going to go ahead and say it. This might be the game that Iron Dragon whips out a skin. Or actually, we saw this skin last game. Let's give it 2 skins.
Bisu had a skin last game.
They had 2 skins. Hey, look, I'm good at this.
Psychic Chrome 94 over here. So endgame will be on blue side here in game number 2 as they switch sides. Iron Dragon, as the number 1 seed, did decide to start on blue side for the series. But every game after that is alternated. For the viewers out there, let's see your predictions in the chat here. Is Endgame going to come through with a clutch game number 2 victory over this Funnel Yi comp? Or is Iron Dragon going to pop out to a commanding 2-0 lead in this series? Who do you guys have? Need to see some predictions. Who's got a confident prediction of this match?
Anybody except for Brown and Autumn. He doesn't count.
Brown's already given us his prediction. But we do see Brown sticking true to his original prediction. Thinks Endgame's going to be coming through clutch here. Definitely got their jungle and AD lineup switches coming in here. Clutch for game number 2. And both of these teams are now heading out onto the Rift. Do you see a similar sort of invade attempt here coming in from Iron Dragon, although we have Feral Hogs and Joe this time guarding the bot lane. Let's see if they're paying enough attention to get out of the way in time.
Depends on whether or not... Nah, they're going to get a walk away.
Oh!
My flash taunt goes down.
That chain CC!
That is some good chain CC. First blood picked up for the Lulu.
Once again, Iron Dragon. Getting that cheesy first blood.
Yeah. Following the love of my heart, the invade. This is why I like this team.
That's tough there, because normally you probably don't need to flash that initially if you are Feral Hogs there, but there was just so much CC, as we were talking about before, on the side of Iron Dragon, that you probably should just flash that wall.
I don't think that, like, Iron Dragon needed to flash there. If Taric had, like, cast his stun, that probably would have done it. His E.
That's possible. Definitely a higher... lower percent of success.
Yeah.
But either way, works out there for Iron Dragon once again as they pick up first blood.
Now, it doesn't look like they're doing it at a proper funnel Yi. They're just playing a Jugger Yi. Taric going in a lane here.
Interesting. Taric in the bot lane.
It's where he's supposed to be.
But once again, deep ward achieved from Iron Dragon by the Raptor Pit of Endgame. So they will have spotted Slamiel heading over to the top side of the map. And that early jungle information is very important, especially for keeping your lane safe, which Iron Dragon has done a very good job of, especially later on in the season, but really throughout the entire season. Bogan taken pretty low here early by Bisu.
Yeah, Lulu capable of putting out a pretty substantial amount of damage.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a different view of this funnel Yi comp as it's more of a Jugger Yi comp than a funnel Yi comp, I would say.
Griffin Viper kind of low down here bot lane. And they're very real risk of that. Some damage. Assuming keeping Feral Hogs pretty healthy.
Yeah, Caitlyn, as we have seen many times, Feral Hog's been very, very strong on.
Slamiel looking for the gank here, mid lane.
Oh,
Polymorph goes
that would
down.
be a
I don't
kill.
think it's going to be fast enough. Oh, actually living here. The last tick of Ignite not quite being enough. Bisu kind of low, under real risk, but the Yi is coming down. Polymorph goes in. Damage rolls through. Suzobi
just out of Alpha Strike range.
But isn't quite going to get there.
I feel like he must have been on cooldown. I feel like he was definitely in range. But also bot lane, while that play was happening, Feral Hogs picked up a nice kill onto Griffin Viper. Looking very strong on this Caitlyn, playing very aggressive early on with the additional poke coming through from Joe on Yuumi. So very strong start for the bot lane event game, which is exactly what they need. And it's also very good that Kindred is Best did not pick up an early kill on Master Yi when Slamiel was chasing down Bisu there. Those are the plays you really don't want to have happen.
Yi coming up top lane and getting CS out of the lane. That's interesting. So still a little bit of a funnel strat.
Logawa did burn teleport coming back to lane. His flash is down. Walks up a little far. The taunt does miss, though. Very lucky there from Gawa.
Gets a bunch of damage in, but Yi is here, wants the engage, but isn't going to be able to get this kill.
It has the red buff slow, but not going to be enough.
Orange just too damn tanky.
Bisu now in the mid lane trying to get another ward by that Raptor pit.
Taunt goes down, up top lane. Gawa having to dash away.
Gawa now in kind of a position he might be able to get dove here. Does pop the pot, so probably will be fine.
Pops the pot and takes the time to walk out.
Iron Dragon says they want this, though.
In the middle of a minion wave. This is maybe a little bit bold.
I think Logawa's endgame strategy here is it's better safe than sorry. You really do not want to get Kindred is Best on the C to start snowballing, so I think he's happily just going to give up a wave here and not risk this play. Especially now that he's out of his turret protection.
Fight
does
goes
land
down.
through.
Taunt
Flash
goes
is up on Kindred.
He's currently having a hard time with Gromp. Gromp will eventually die, but the Yi standing on a ward is low. Gawa won't get there in time. He stopped to build an item.
I feel like that was well played by Gawa to really just not take any like super risky plays and allow Iron Dragons to take an early lead in this game, keeping things slow, keeping things calculated.
Yeah. Patience is the name of the game here.
Because once Master Yi gets ahead in a comp like this, that's when you're in some trouble. So
now, what'll be entertaining is if like they build Thornmail.
yeah, definitely a few very tanky members on the side of Endgame. able to build such item. You see Slamiel now heading in, trying to pick up that blue buff. Actually does get the smite on it.
Yep.
Nice little steal there. Slamiel's still level 5.
You can do to like delay the Yi from popping off. Just one step closer to winning the game.
Slamiel now heading towards the bot side. But not really anything that they can make happen down here. Unless an Engage were to come out through the side of Iron Dragon, but the bot lane for Endgame is just so getting enough poke down here that Iron Dragon's bot lane is probably not going to make any moves like that. Slamiel just heads back into his jungle. If you look here, the ward difference in this game, even in this early state, is definitely significant, although we do see Kindred's best hang towards the top side here. Little Gawa very low on mana.
Yeah, could have a hard time if he gets dove. I don't think it's super likely. I think the E is just taking this opportunity to get into the enemy jungle.
I actually did miss it, but the first drag was picked up by Endgame. And while Kindred is ahead in CS on this Yi, I feel like the state of the jungle control in the game is definitely nowhere near as significant as it was in game number 1. Ancient Mommy being out of the jungle definitely.
Slamiel spotting out the E here. Wants the fight, but there's
a bad spot.
There's a Lulu here also. Flash is
on the
burned.
backside.
Grits pop. He's gonna die here. He's popping the ult, but it's not gonna be enough. Shin ult pops down. He picks up the kill.
Definitely a little bit of a miscommunication there, I feel like. Definitely the Shen ult turned the tide of that fight as well. But Slamiel probably should have walked towards Bo and tried to get that ult wombo off from the cannon.
That was in a bad place.
Another kill there being picked up on Kindred, on this Master Yi. Those are 2 kills that go straight into his pocket.
Yeah, that was a super clean tower dive there from the side of Iron Dragon.
But the bot lane for Endgame's definitely still in commanding fashion down here. Feral up about 20 CS on Griffin Viper. On one of his strongest champions, so they do have that going for him.
Up almost 1,000 gold too, which is very relevant.
Second dragon will be spawning in here in just a few moments.
Joe on this Yuumi is doing some very aggressive poking.
So the Shen TP is down for a little bit, so TP advantage will be in the favor of Endgame. I feel like they need to try and make a play to take this dragon down. We do see Slamiel now on the bot side, heading towards this objective. Will be spotted out by Dreamlover on that ward.
Yeah,
but ult and TP down on Ancient Mommy in the top lane.
Yeah, if there was a time to fight, it's now.
Yeah, Slamiel now heading to a little bit of a sticky situation here. The bot lane for Endgame is not going to be there in time.
The stun goes out though. Oh, looking good, but the Yi just barely getting that kill. Ornal popped. Missed it. Little Gawa looking a little rough this morning. Well, I guess this afternoon.
Yeah, despite the bot lane for Endgame not being there in time, the damage there from Bo really coming through, which is a huge reason why I was a fan of this cannon pick to begin with. But this dragon should definitely be there as we see the recall coming in from Lil Gawa, but no one's starting up the Drake. Very interesting.
This feels like a missed opportunity.
Lil Gawa feeling like he needs to get back to defend this turret, but
Oh, about to die here mid lane. That was a very cleanly performed kill by Bisu. Punishing the over-aggressive nature of the Kinnan. But
Oh, nice ultimate
meanwhile,
there.
mid lane, Slamiel picking up the kill with quite a performance of his own.
Yeah, that was a 600 gold shutdown there, and that was really well played by Slamiel. He landed the ultimate directly into the remaining minions, also causing the turret aggro to be on to Bisu there. So well played by Slamiel. This Earth Dragon still standing as endgame did not opt to take it there.
Oh my lord, that was too quick for casting. Down bot lane, a
Feral
1-2-3 combo from Feral Hogs picking up the kill.
Yeah, and this bot lane matchup is completely 180 from game number 1. Feral Hogs looking very, very strong with Joe by his side. Now eyeing the dragon, but Kindred's Best is back in the area. Bo is roaming down.
He popping ult along with the Shin ult, trying to get some work done here. Feral Hogs allowed to just auto attack in the background though.
Oh,
There's the Joe or the Bo ult doing a ton of work, but it's not quite enough. That Yi is kept healthy by his teammates. And this should be a dragon picked up, albeit slowly. Not less slowly than I thought.
and in that fight, I feel like endgame was just a little hesitant there, not wanting to pull the trigger and commit. Maybe could have done a little bit better in that fight if they'd fully committed, but Bo hesitated a long time before going in. The Tark ult was a little bit responsible for that, but still looked a little bit hesitant to commit to that fight.
In the meantime, while all that was going on, we did have a kill onto the Ornn under tower top lane. So, could be unfortunate.
Things not looking quite as good as endgame I'm sure would have hoped coming into this match with the changes they made.
That is Rick Herald picked up for the side of Iron Dragon.
It really just brings me back to what does endgame need to be doing here to get back in this game once again, and what really is the issue? I did say a little bit in that one fight, a little bit of hesitation, indecisiveness, whether to fight, whether not to fight. A little bit more organization maybe on the side of endgame to match Iron Dragon around the map, but they do still have Feral Hogs looking very, very strong on this Kaylin.
Bo's also looking pretty stout himself. We'll have to see how he shapes up the rest of this game, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ornn start pushing items to him.
Lots of members now bot side for endgame. No objective up. Interesting to see what they got scheming here. Looks like maybe a collapse onto the bot lane of Iron Dragon, but the wave's pushing in now. TP is available on Ancient Mommy as well to join this and make it a 5v5. So
Feral Hogs laying down a lot of damage on the Griffin Viper here, forcing him out of lane.
Lulugawa will be spotted out by Iron Dragons. They do know he is now down here. He looks like he's heading back towards top side. Although we do see bot. Recall canceled.
Putting in so much work. Oh, but he's getting flanked. Yumio goes down, but there's a lot going on right now. Ornn pops off. Bo comes in from the backside, tries to get the stunts off, but that is a massive target ult, keeping the entire team alive. Meanwhile, they take the tower dive. Slamiel trying to eat through all the damage, but he's not quite enough. That Yi is massive. And Bo will eventually fall here, and so will Joe. Has a funnel Yi comp or a Jugger Yi comp, whatever you want to call it, starts to show what it's capable of. That was a commanding team fight.
Yeah, and now the Herald's being dropped too, so their eyes are definitely going to be on the Nexus inhibitor turret here. But once again, in that fight, endgame just looking a little bit less coordinated. They did spot out Kindred's Best on the Z in the area, but really just not either not communicating properly that that collapse was going to be happening, or I don't know what it was, but just looking a little bit unorganized here inside of endgame.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Feral Hogs got a little greedy for those kills under tower and stayed longer than he should have when he was getting flanked.
Yeah, because they had 4 members bot side, but they saw that so did Iron Dragon, and when they made the call for Little Goblet to back off and recall, Feral and Joe still were playing up aggressively pushed, and we're not quick enough on the realization and communication that that collapse is coming through. Well, the third dragon of the game will be spawning in here in about 45 seconds. And things now definitely looking pretty grim. 10 kills on this Yi.
That's scary. Meanwhile, top lane, Little Gawa can't stand toe-to-toe with this Shin anymore.
Oh
Flash is out, but I don't think it's going to be enough. That taunt will get him in range, if not to the kill. Yep, just there. Very unfortunate, but that Shin is kind of scary in his own right. Has Sunfire Cape, has Tiamat, beefing up for sure.
Dragon is about to spawn in here. Surely should be going for 2 Iron Dragon. Ultimate is available on Shen, Stand United. And also in these team fights, it's been Iron Dragon engaging onto Endgame. Endgame has looked very unorganized and very just unsure of themselves in all of these fights. And if they're going to look to take any of these team fights, it's going to be them getting an engage onto... Oh!
That Yi Flash was rather enthusiastic, but it gets the kill. Joe maybe staying alive here? Just barely getting in range. Maybe the stun's enough. Could the shutdown go through? It won't, actually, but they not even onto the to anybody. Like, they all survived.
Yeah, and top lane, Endgame able to... They sent the two members top lane to try to get that kill onto Ancient Mami on the Shen while the dragon was going down. But at the same time, they kept Feral and Joe right by the dragon pit, and there's really nothing they're accomplishing by doing that. And it gets 2 more kills onto this Yi, so really just some questionable macro as well coming through for Endgame here.
It is now a 13-1 Master Yi.
Like, if you're going to give the dragon up and send all the members top lane, which may be the play you want to do, considering it'd be tough to take this objective from them with the goal lead. Definitely don't send a couple members there to get picked off.
Now they're keeping an eye on Baron. They want this. It's a little early, but I mean,
a little early
can do it.
10,000 goal lead almost, with excessive momentum on their side. I don't see any reason why it's not theirs. Once again, in game number 2, yeah, uncontested. In game number 2, Endgame still just looking completely on the back foot, unable to really make smart macro decisions and rotate and just handle what Iron Dragon's been throwing at them. Iron Dragon now able to get that very deep vision control in the blue side jungle for Endgame.
Yep.
They start their choking out process. They seem to be doing pretty consistently against teams.
Yep.
13-1.
That's a big Yi. Looks like they want to siege out this top lane a bit while mid lane gets pushed in. Definitely not a bad call. Looks like this tower is going to go down here. But the in-game engage. This is a very big ultimate chained in with another very big ultimate. Shutdown's coming out.
Endgame.
Yeah, that was the start of a turnaround, boys and girls.
And that is the first time, honestly, in the first 2 games that Endgame has actually made a proactive play that has been like confident and called out and followed through by the entire team. In the first 2 games, it's been literally Iron Dragon just kind of like walking through Endgame looking very unsure of themselves and not really responding well to anything. But this is the first time that Endgame has actually made a play, made a call, and executed it effectively. And look what happened.
Yeah, it resulted in a 3-for-1. Seems reasonable with massive shutdowns.
Endgame can still come back in this game. It'd be very difficult. They need to establish some sort of vision control in the jungle. Anything they can get, and just try to like make a proactive pick onto Iron Dragon. Iron Dragon has been in some interesting questionable positions between the first 2 games. Down members, as we saw top lane, down members pushed up too far. Openings are available for Endgame. They just need to find them and give themselves some space to breathe in this game. If they're going to beat Iron Dragon, they cannot play afraid. Iron Dragon is just going to end up walking over them. But with that being said, you also have to be very calculated. Calculated aggression.
The oxymoron of that is entertaining.
Passive landed on the Slamiel. Oh, a little bit of a misclick there as Ancient Mommy burns Flash. Again, 5 members bot side here for Iron Dragon. Lil Gawa not in the area. And this is where Endgame needs to be very careful. They cannot allow an opening for Iron Dragon to engage. When that happens, things have not been going well for them.
But with Dragon spawning, this could be a turning point, but it doesn't look like Endgame is going to respond accordingly.
See here, right now, Endgame is pushing up very aggressively in somewhere where they have a little bit of vision control, but they know Iron Dragon's around, and they only had 3 members there. Luckily, they didn't get punished for it, but...
Looks to be like Iron Dragon is going to start trying to choke out this game in very Cloud9 fashion, going with like a 3-2-2 split, or a 1-2-2 split across the lanes. Just
now, Ancient Mommy
taking objectives here. Only 1 inhib tower still standing.
Ancient Mommy pushing this top lane does have Stand United available whenever to rejoin his team. We do see Craven Viper a little bit isolated here, but no one's rotating down to stop this bot push. This is a 3v5 situation. Shen can still join the team, but Griffin Viper cannot. I feel like those are the kind of situations that Endgame needs to try to capitalize on, or else they're just going to end up losing this game. If you're not going to take an opening like this, you're not going to get a much better opening, I feel like.
Nope, I'm afraid not. And it doesn't look like they want the engage here.
And your mama is going to get an inhibitor for free now.
Misclick on the side of Bo. Pops his Hourglass a little bit earlier there. Master Yi gets super low, but the Tark ult keeps him alive. Ornalt popped, but they are fighting under tower now. Bisu getting a little low here, but it's not going to be enough. Little Gawa eventually falling down. Feral Hog's about to die too to this Master Yi, and this is going to be an ace.
Yeah, long death timers too. This is probably game number 2 going to be going down in favor of Iron Dragon. But once again, that fight was just Iron Dragon not ready to pull the trigger and just kind of sitting around, and once again getting engaged upon. Really been the story of the series so far.
Yeah, and that
especially in game 2.
The game 2. A little bit of showboating at the end.
Sorry for a little bit of technical difficulties. Stream did freeze, so footage is a few seconds behind. But
the game is currently over on our screens. However, on stream we are just now seeing the final team fight that spelled the end of this game. All that's left is a little bit of showboating from the side. Yeah, there we go, and the game is finishing on stream. And
honestly, just a recap of this game and the first game, Endgame has looked very, I would just say they look afraid of Iron Dragon.
Definitely seem to be playing like they're intimidated.
as a unit, because
Yeah,
obviously Farrell stepped in game number 2 here, looked very strong in the bot lane, and while the early game was much stronger from game number 1, when it came time for like these macro plays around objectives and team fights, Endgame just looked very hesitant and like they never wanted to like commit to anything. And especially in the second half of the game, they were playing from a deficit, so you do have to be very careful in the plays that you opt to take. But especially like in that bot lane, Iron Dragon's just going to win that game if you do nothing about it. You had 3 members bot lane for Iron Dragon. Shen's going to come through with Stand United, but you have to try to win that 4v5, that 5v4 there. Because if not, what's going to happen just happened, and the game's just over if you don't take that. So they end up getting a free inhibitor.
Unfortunate but true. Looking at the damage graphs, I would say that like at least the Iron Dragon damage graph is very satisfying to look at. It is wonderfully stair-stepped.
Once again, Kindred is best, absolutely destroying the damage chart.
Well, they let the Yi slip through.
They did. And honestly, I feel like this game, while it was pretty clean from Iron Dragon, there was still a decent amount of openings that were available that I at least would have hoped to see Endgame try to capitalize on. It really just felt like Endgame kind of just collapsed and didn't ever like try to do anything against this.
Yeah, I mean, they had the team comp to counter this. They drafted well. They you had the Ornn ult, which if well timed can stop the Yi. You had the Set ult, which is on target to stop the Yi. You had the Yuumi ult to stop the Yi. You had the Kennen ult to stop the Yi.
And they were always just on the back foot. They never really had enough members there committed for any of these fights. So Kindred was able to dodge a lot of the CC with the Alpha Strike because it was also staggered out. And he was able to stay healthy along with all of his assistance from his peeling supports.
Yeah, no, and the Jugger Yi build here was really, really well done. The Tark ults were incredibly well timed and effective.
For sure.
The Lulu ults just put in work. The Shin ults kept him alive while everything else started to work their way in. It was well performed on the side of Iron Dragon and very underperformed on the side of Endgame here. Super unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's how it played out. We saw the end result. Now the only question is whether or not Endgame can do something to curb this rolling thunder of a team.
And honestly, game 1, you could chalk it up a little bit to the roster difficulties. They definitely did not have their main roster. Smash Pocket did not put a very strong performance out in the jungle. Iron Dragon was able to kind of like steamroll and control that entire match. But even game number 2 here, they got their roster lineup. The early game looked much better from Endgame, but there's still the same kind of just again, the word I would say is like fear. I would say they seem very afraid to make decisive decisions, and I feel like if they're gonna come back in the series, or even just win a game at this point, definitely gonna need to play with a little bit more of a confidence and just decisiveness in these team fights.
Well,
Iron Dragon is.
I'm sure we will have to find out whether or not they can do this after the break. We're going to cut to commercial real quick as we set up the next game, and we will see you on the flip side, hopefully with another fantastic game for you guys.